Hi, I'm Erik Linask here in the TMC newsroom. We're coming to you from San Jose, California, and I'm talking with Barry Haaser, who's the Executive Director of the USNAP Alliance. Barry, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me today.
So maybe start off, tell me a little bit about what is the USNAP Alliance?
Sure, Eric. So the USNAP Alliance was formed to enable a whole generation of smart grid ready products. It was our belief that in order for the smart grid to develop as an industry, technology would need to evolve. And as we witnessed in the computer industry, it took over a decade for Ethernet to become a standard, and we felt that the home area network market would take that long or longer. So in order to help eliminate the risk for utilities who were concerned about stranded assets, we worked collaboratively as a group, manufacturers and utilities, to create a new standard called USNAP so that consumer products could connect to any type of home area network.
So where do you stand today with regards to bringing or standardizing the smart grid market?
Good question. So we've developed a specification which we have now published and released to the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST. They are in the process of finalizing the specification and are preparing to hand it off to a standards development organization in the next few weeks. In addition to that, consumers can actually purchase USNAP-enabled products through retail outlets like Home Depot, where you can buy a thermostat with a Wi-Fi module and an iPhone app for only $99. And so you can have a smart grid-ready product you can use today in your home to control your energy and have an interface so that you could connect to your smart meter sometime in the future.
So what's the benefit from your perspective, from the vendor perspective, and also from the service provider perspective of being able to roll out these smart grid enabled devices well in advance of the meters actually being deployed?
Yep, great question. So we know that consumers have an appetite for energy efficiency. They're starting to learn more and more about smart grid. Here in California, smart meters are installed in about 5 million homes. So what manufacturers can do is start building smart grid ready products. They can then either populate the devices with a network interface, so they can leave them unpopulated and allow consumers to install those. So what we're doing is giving the manufacturers flexibility to build products today, not worrying about changing technology and standards, and be able to participate in utility projects and trials, or in the case of some companies like the 3M Filtrate product, they're selling that through retail today.
Is there a level of understanding that the consumer needs to have in order to implement smart grid enabled products?
I think the consumers starting next year will start to see a whole wave of smart grid products making their way to market. We'll see more thermostats coming to market. We'll see energy gateways. At the Consumer Electronics Show this year, we saw just about every appliance manufacturer showing smart appliances. So there'll be a variety of products there, and service providers. The telcos, the mobile companies, cable companies, security companies are all starting to bring to market energy offerings. So we as consumers will start to see more and more of these and give us a variety of services and products that we can purchase beginning early next year.
And the idea of rolling it out early in advance of that and in advance of being able to actually leverage them with smart meters is really, it's a question of getting the consumer market to understand the products that are out there, what people can do with them to make that overall adoption of smart grid technologies easier?
Yeah, it'll certainly make it easier, and we're finding even today, without smart meters, you can have energy offerings that allow you to clamp a device to your main line in your house, and it will read your energy for you. So there are ways that you can retrofit and have energy management in your home. But really, in terms of the mass market for energy management, that'll emerge once smart meters are installed, the home area network chips are enabled, and we start to see changes in the regulatory environment where we have things like critical peak pricing, time of use pricing, dynamic pricing, where the price of electricity fluctuates, so we're not in these fixed rate programs we have today, but market rates change dynamically. And so that provides economic incentives for us to change our behavior.
So, for instance, devices like the thermostat you mentioned that's available today, what do they use for connectivity? Is it a Wi-Fi network?
Yeah, good question. So today, the most common network interfaces for consumer products are Wi-Fi, because just about every house, I think 80% of the homes now have Wi-Fi. Zigbee is popular among utilities. There's a technology called Z-Wave that's very popular in home automation, lighting control applications. Some utilities also use the FM RDS band, which we all know as the signal that displays song titles on our radios. That's popular among utilities. And then there are power line technologies that are popular. So where USNAP comes in is it allows you to add a network interface to your product and connect any combination of those networks.
So regardless, so does the choice then become the consumer's choice, or does it become the service provider's choice?
It will be a mix. So you'll find that there will be some service. There are some service provider offerings today, for example, that use Z-Wave technology, which is very popular home automation technology. Most of the smart meters in California have a Zigbee chip in them, so at some point people will need a Zigbee interface. My belief is that we'll see a mix of networks. We'll see a mix of Wi-Fi, of Z-Wave, and Zigbee together, just like we see in professional data networks today.
Sure. One last question. How much do you think that receiving recognition from a standards body will help advance the growth of the smart grid market?
Yeah, so it's extremely important in this day and age to have accepted industry standards that are backed by NIST or endorsed by NIST, and for those then to be recommended to the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, FERC. So our plan is to get the standard ratified, become an American standard, present it to an international body, become an international standard. And then that way, companies, utilities, and government and regulatory agencies will feel comfortable with a proven, solid technology foundation.
Excellent. Thank you, Barry.
Great. Thanks for your time.
We've been talking here in San Jose with Barry Haaser from the USNAP Alliance. Barry, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks. Appreciate it.